Hey guys, it's Kate and I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to do a quick journal page with some acrylic paints, maybe some stenciling, and just see where we end up. So I have some of these kind of textury background shapes and I was thinking about which ones I want to use because I really would like to do some kind of floral today. So I was thinking that I would start with this one and go in with some ink. So I'm using Ranger Archival ink. It's Distress ink, and this one is Vintage Photo, which is kind of a nice light colored brown. And I am working on my sketch pad, which is I believe it's somewhere around 90 or 100 pounds, and it is not gessoed. There's nothing on the surface right now. But I wanted to just kind of go in with some earthy tones here and blend it out with my blending brush and just have some fun and see what kind of marks we can get. All right, I think I'm going to finish with that. And I've got this one here, and I think I'm going to go in with this one with my peeled paint, which is a really nice green color. So I'm going to start applying that, and I may kind of put some coverage on some different spots on this page. And I'm going to start over here and kind of work my way back toward the edge. And I'm going to try to work fairly quickly on this journal today, just so we can maybe have a quicker sort of art project that we can enjoy doing together. And I think this will be just the ticket. So I'm just kind of quickly dipping in and going over my stencil. I'm holding it close to the paper so that I can get those crisp edges where possible. And I'm not really worried about, too much of the evenness of the color, but some of these I may add a little bit of a deeper color so that we have a little bit of variation there. And I think I like that. I may even come in with my brush and just tone the page a little bit here over to the side. You can do that too, and it'll just kind of create an interesting background. Just like that. Okay, so I've got my plate here. So I have some titanium white, lamp black, phthalo blue, lime green, and this is like a peachy flesh tint color. It's actually Creative Inspirations flesh tint, and it's a nice kind of warm peach. So I'm going to set this sort of next to my journal. Make sure that's on the screen there. And first I'm going to mix together my lamp black and my phthalo blue, because I would like to make a nice rich dark background. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it just to get it thinned out a tiny bit so I'm not putting down big blobs of thick paint on my paper. And I'm going to work on making kind of an organic shape here. So I'm going to kind of paint around just like that. And I'm just going to come straight down off the page. And this is going to kind of be the background to my floral. And I'm doing brush textures and everything. So I don't really, I want the texture. So that is just fine with me. And I'm just kind of going back and forth like that to sort of distribute my brush marks so that it's not just all the same exact direction, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to mix up some more color here. And I'm just kind of mixing as I go right on my plate and right into my painting, and where I want to kind of blend some of this together, I'm going to do that. And I love this sort of really rich, dark, greenish, bluish black color that we've got going on here. I think it's really beautiful. And I'm going to slow down my brush marks right here along the edge and try to get sort of a clean line while I go over this paint. And I love this mixture. It's really gorgeous. And maybe I'll have another one kind of coming up, or down, I should say, from the top. And maybe it'll almost kind of meet right there. Why not? And I'm just going to clean up this edge a little bit. Make sure it's nice and hard. I'm not really looking for the fluffy brush strokes too much along the edge. And I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to dip into this lime green next and put some out here and mix some of this titanium white with it. So the lime green I found is kind of a transparent color, but I really love the color itself, but I want it to be a little bit more opaque for this. So I'm going to mix it with this titanium white, and that will increase the opacity of the paint and lighten it up a little bit too. But I want that nice bright pop of color. And I'm just going to add some marks here. And I may go back to, let me try using my Filbert. This is a little bit of a bristly brush, and so it's going to leave a little bit more of a harsher color or harsher brush stroke than I would like. And I think I like this a little bit better. I'm going to just do another sort of organic mark right there. And this is mixing a little bit with that blue. I'm okay with that too. Let me put some more color together here. And we'll just have a couple of these little pops. Just like that. Beautiful. Okay, I forgot to hit record on my camera, but I mixed up a good amount of white, some of this peach color, and a very, very little bit of this lime green mixture just to tone it down and neutralize it just a little bit. And I'm going to come down here and give it a little swoop and another little swoop here. And I'm going to use this as a base for my little planter that I'm going to have, because I'm going to make some florals. And I'm just going to kind of lightly go over it with my brush strokes, and I'm going to let even some of that texture from the blue background come in, and I might even dip just the tip of my brush in it and go around it some more and lighten that blue color, which is really beautiful. Now I'm almost going to treat it like a bit of a shadow and just kind of lightly go around the edge, but more on one side than the other. We'll say our light's kind of coming through from that side. And I'm going to just mop off my brush a bit, pick up some more of this color, and really focus on that highlight over there. Just like that. And I'll just put in these marks up here and finish off this little planter. Actually, let me just even this up just a bit. All right. Now I'm going to take some of this lime green and some of this phthalo blue and mix these together and add a little bit of that peach color to this and get it a little bit toned down where we have a nice green going on, just like that. Maybe I'll even add a little bit more of that blue. That looks good to me. Usually I mix with my palette knife so I don't have just blobs of paint in my brush, but we'll go with this. All right, I'm going to make some leaf shapes here, very abstract, maybe even coming down from the sort of center here. And I'm just going to make some of these blobs. And I'm going to kind of fill it out a little bit more here. And then maybe I'll add some more of that phthalo blue and come in and do some more sort of abstract marks. Just like that. And I might do a couple of little hints of stems or lines, something like that. Now I can go right into my pink and mix that up with some of the water that was left over in my brush, and then I'm going to add some white to that as well and get a nice pastel color going on here. And then I'm going to come in here and do some sort of abstract flowers. I'm just going to go right around here. And same thing with my brushes. I'm just going to be very loose and blobby. Just like that. And then I'm going to grow, I'm sort of rinsing my brush pretty well, but I'm not going crazy with it. I'm going to come back into that phthalo blue that I have left over and mix it with some of that pink. And I'm going to make some of these. And I might add even some more pink to that, almost to make it sort of a purpley color. And maybe we have a little bit of one here. And how about one coming from this side and off the page? Just like that. Now I'm dipping in just a little bit to this lime green. I'm going to just add a couple of little tiny brush strokes just to give a hint of it somewhere else. Add some more texture to this and add a couple of those little tiny pops of the bright green. And I'm being kind of strategic here and putting it where I just feel like it seems to belong. I want to have a nice full arrangement, and I want to make sure that some of my marks that I'm making definitely give you that feeling of contrast, and that it starts coming together to look like a floral bouquet. Now, this is kind of perfect, so I'm going to just make sure that some of these are longer, some of these are shorter, some of these go over my vase, and give it some variety so it looks a little bit more like a random arrangement. You might even have some leaves going over your flowers, and that's okay too. Now I'm going to take my stylus and dip into this lamp black that I have left over on my page, and I'm just going to add some little dots into my flowers. And I might even kind of expand on them a bit. And it could be that there's 2 flowers in one bundle. It's just abstract, so we can be very loose with it. And it can be off center. All of your flowers won't necessarily be facing the same direction. Some of them might even be buds. That's okay. And I think we need some more buds actually. So let me go back in here, and let's say we add just some, I've got a little bit of other colors sort of touching this white, but let's go with some pure white. And let's go into some of this darker spot here and maybe add a little bud here or there. And just choose some of the places where we might have some more contrast, just like that. And it could be, maybe we have a little trio of flower buds there, and we can always put in our little lines to kind of connect that back to the main flower bouquet. Maybe we just do a little thing like that, maybe a little of that there. Just like that. Here we go. Now maybe with that pinky color, we add a little bit of extra color to these flowers. Just like that. And I think we've got ourselves a pretty good little painting. I'm going to grab just a little bit of that peach color straight from the tube because I've got it here. But what I'd like to do is just add a hint of it to some other places so it's not just right here. But since this is sort of my pop of color on the page, I'm going to be very sparing. So what I'm going to do is a little stroke here just to bring that into the color down here. And then what I might also do is over here, I might just add just a little bit here, almost like a little accent brush stroke. And I might do the same thing up here too. And it's just bringing it together. Scampy just jumped up on the table. And I think we have ourselves a very good mix of lights and darks. I really love this color palette. I love that sort of dark blue in the background. It really gives it a base to stand on. And I love the abstract flowers and lots of greenery and different interesting just little flower shapes, and they're just little blobs. And these are just little blobs. And then we have some texture coming through a bit from the background from those stencils. So all in all, I love this page, and it was a pretty quick little project. So I'm going to take out my protective sheet and give you a little close-up of our journal page. So you can definitely see those brush strokes when you get close. You can see the detail from those flowers. I love the flower vase that we made, the round one, and those sort of organic shapes in the background. I really love how this turned out, and I hope you enjoyed doing it along with me with your paints that you have on hand and whatever paper you have on hand. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I really hope that you have a great day and try this for yourself. And Scampy is right here. She says hello. But until next time, keep creating.